Matt Lenihan for Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store and R Kings. Always a pleasure to be joined by Mikaela Mayer. Mikaela, I appreciate you jumping on. How's things?
Everything's going really good. I've been in the gym nonstop, I'm way ahead of schedule, feeling sharp, feeling strong. Um, Weight's gonna be easy this time. So yeah, good.
The fact this rematch is on, how pleased are you that it sort of got over the line? Because the first event, they had so many eyeballs on the event, and it was a
Yeah.
huge success the first time round. Forgetting even just the build up to it and the rivalry in terms of just like the broadcast and stuff like that. They hit some huge numbers, so you must be buzzing to get this one over the line.
Yeah, I never dismissed the rematch. It was always a possibility. I just wanted to take time to go back with my team and figure out the best option, obviously. So after getting the numbers back from the fight and just seeing how, everyone was excited about it. And then there was also people who were questioning whether Sandy was at her best. And so I was like, whatever, let's just shut everybody up and give her another chance to do it. And I'll be better and stronger.
Um, I saw the sort of face off between yourself and Sandy, the online one anyway, with Ariel. Interesting comments from both sides. I interviewed Sandy last week as well, so I'm just gonna go over a few bits. One of the things I picked up from her, she says, "Look, I just don't like you as a person." What do you sort of make of those comments? You've had your rivalries over the years, the bomb guard and stuff, and but I don't feel it's has been as intense as this one. What do you make of them sort of comments?
I mean, exactly what I said in the Ariel Helwani interview. She's just mad that I'm calling her out because up until this whole issue of her coming into America and coming into my camp and my gym, we were cool. We go back to the amateur days,
Mhm.
we've never had an issue. She never had a problem with my personality then. It's just now that I've built this rivalry and I made this fight and I booted them out of the gym and found a better team.
hmm
So
The first time round, so obviously, I think everybody spoke about it from Sandy's point of view in terms of how you'd react with the whole pain and the attack, that incident. But from your point of view, when you hear that that's happened, what does it do to you? Because you're obviously sat there thinking, well, this kind of maybe put this fight in jeopardy. You're preparing for a fight as well. What's going through your mind when you hear this is happening? Because does that sort of unsettle you when you're thinking, we're literally a couple of hours away from having a main event here? Put a lot of work into camp.
I I was shocked when it happened. I was literally upstairs waiting to head down because my car was going to be there like seconds after Sandy's car. Um, but at the end of the day, like it didn't phase me at all. I mean, it didn't happen to me, so there's that. But
hmm
also, like, if it did happen to me, my team would have said, "Go shower, suck it up, let's go, and let's go to war. Let's do what we've been training to do." I think that the biggest downfall was Sandy's team and her corner and her coaches, like, getting her all worked up about it, doing that little nude photo shoot and threatening or screaming at her in the locker room to leave and pull out of the fight. Like that's the crazy part. I mean,
Yeah,
but to
yeah,
me, it didn't phase me. I mean,
yeah. I saw your comments there. You said that quite suspicious behaviour from her team, and obviously, I know you know that her team as it used to be your team. But what did you find sort of suspicious about that? Do you look and go, why were they asking him to do that? Or were they just looking
yeah.
out for the best interest of her and her mindset going into it?
I mean, it was a little paint on the leg. Good thing it wasn't in the face and the eyes or something crazy. But like I just know Kay, like as a person, he's just very chill and laid back into himself. Like for him to run in there and like he's screaming, I've never seen him like that. Like screaming, let's get the fuck out of here. Like that was like totally out of character for him. Almost like the plan that he set up, didn't work. Like he wanted her to pull out of the fight. I don't know what his I don't know what his deal was, but he was definitely put in the middle. He didn't show up in her corner. He stood in the back of the arena. Um, Maybe he didn't want to go head to head with Coach Al, and knowing that he kind of did us wrong. But I don't know. Maybe she should look inside her own team. That was my only thought was like that just seemed like a little bit suspicious behavior.
Well, in terms of the team for this camp, I believe it's Kay taking charge of camp of the being the lead trainer in the corner. from the interview I saw and from my interview with Sandy. Does that change anything from your side,
He
and
was
how you
always the
approach the
lead.
rematch?
He was always the lead coach, okay? Just because he didn't show up in the corner and he wasn't, posted a bunch on social media. Kay and Flick are a team. Kay's the head coach, and Flick is just his little t-shirt boy in there helping him condition these guys. Like, she can say that Flick was the one training her, but I've seen the content online. Like, I know what the deal is. I know who runs the program. I know who sets up the training. I know who comes up with the strategy and tells Flick what to do. It's all Kay. So just because he wasn't in the spotlight and he did it kind of behind the scenes, he was training her then. So now that he's open about it, fine. I knew what it was before. It's not going to make a difference.
What have you learned from this first fight? Obviously, you got the victory. You became world champion again. I know that that must have been a proud moment in your career because of you've sort of been through the ups and a few downs where I feel like you probably feel hard done by with some decisions and probably rightly so. But in this rematch, what have you learned that you think you go into this one with a bit of an edge so that you can have more of a maybe conclusive victory this time round?
Yeah. Well, I definitely think I'm the more well-rounded fighter. I can do a lot of different things, and I think I had a good game plan in that fight. And, after 10 rounds of being in there with her, you go back and you realize what you did good and what you could have done better. And I've been working with Kofi on all those things since that last fight. That last fight I was only with Kofi for a few months, and now it's been a good 8, 9 months with him. And I just feel like I've leveled up so much. So I'm definitely going in there 10 times better than I was. I know she says she's getting stronger. She's working on the sit on her punches, whatever. I'm doing the same thing. So I'm just gonna do what I did, and just do it better and make those scores wider.
I feel like you've almost had this new lease of life since the move up in weight, especially. But then I think you've looked a lot fitter, stronger, a lot more than when you were at the lower weights. And now, obviously, with this new training team, does it feel like everything that happened was almost maybe a blessing in disguise, and that it's given you that sort of that reawakening in boxing because it's a hard sport no matter how you want to cut it up, but it sort of feels like you were kind of reborn through all this.
100%. It was such a blessing in disguise. Like, Sandy did me a favor. I've said that. Um, I feel better than I've ever felt, that even in my 20s, and then coming off being like at 130 for my entire career when most people move up over the years. Um, I didn't realize it then, but being now settled in at 147 now for a good year and a half, like, this is the weight for me. I am stronger. My body feels better than ever. Um, and again, it takes time to reverse all that damage you do to your body by cutting weight for so long. So maybe you didn't see the true 147 in me right away, but you're definitely going to see it in this fight. So, yeah, I know she thinks that she's gonna. She always thought that she was a bigger, stronger fighter. I wasn't big enough to go up against her, but I think that she learned that that's not true. And if I was able to do what I did a few months back,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be even worse this time.
You mentioned it. You just said that it could be even worse this time, and I know you made comments about her potential her vomiting after the fight, and that you felt like you genuinely hurt her in that fight. Do you feel like this time round, you can force a stoppage if it does present itself?
Yeah, I mean, of course, that's exactly what I want. I've been putting in the work in.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely possible with the way I'm punching now and turning into my shots, and just the muscle that I have on me, and just the way that Kofi has adjusted my technique and my footwork. So it's definitely possible. But at the end of the day, I don't have to muscle her. She said that she was, walking me back the whole fight, but that's because I was boxing circles around her. That's what she has to do. I don't know what her game plan is going to be this time. Kate might have her do something wild, like come out lefty and box and move, but it's not going to help her regardless. So, I feel like I can beat her on the inside and I can beat her boxing and moving, and it's going to put it all together.
I know you can't afford to look past this fight, so I'm sort of speaking hypothetically. You've achieved a lot in boxing, and like you said, this part of your career now, feel like you're sort of moving into your prime years, even though you're not like early 20s, but you're physically fitter, stronger. You've had some terrific fights. If you could sort of, in your mind, 12 months from now, like have an idea, what would you have wanted to achieve in sort of the next 12 months, providing obviously you do the business again against Sandy? What do you want?
Ideally, 12 months from now, I'll be welterweight undisputed champion. I mean,
Yeah.
I beat Sandy in March, and in the meantime, Lauren Price and Natasha Jonas will have unified the other belts, and there's no reason why we won't have an undisputed welterweight champion by the end of the year. So that's definitely the goal. It's that was my goal at 130. It didn't happen, and then from then on, I was like, the most important thing. I wanted to go undisputed, but to me, it was just more about making the biggest, best fights and challenging myself the most. But now I'm in position to go undisputed again, so that's definitely the goal, and then we'll see from there. But there's a lot of big fights for me at this weight, and maybe 54 too. I don't think I see myself going past 154. I'd go down to 140 for the right person, but again, us women are kind of hopping around everywhere, so I know there's plenty of great fights for me
Yeah.
in the next couple of years to finish up my career.
So we could potentially see you back in the UK again as well.
Unfortunately, no, I do love
Fuck.
fighting in the UK, but I haven't, had the best luck there. So, but again, like I'm realistic in the fact that I'll have one belt and the winner of Jonas Price will have three. So I'm not really in position to be, demanding the fight in the US. If I have to go to the UK for
Yeah.
the right deal and the right fight, like I absolutely would. So yeah, I'll probably see y'all soon.
Yeah, well, we want to see you back regardless of what happens in this next fight. What's going on? Have you had a few more tattoos? I've just noticed your hand there. You're all
You were
coloured up. What's
you
going
were
on?
literally like the fifth person to tell me that this week. You guys, I've had this for a long time. I just kept adding. I'm done though. Don't worry, I'm done.
You're just like this a lot, and I'm like, holy fuck, how many more has
I
she got? Like,
know.
what's going on?
I know. I started and then like I didn't like some of it, so I was trying to distract the
All
part that I
right.
didn't like, and I was like, well, let me add some here, let me add some here, and now I just have a full arm.
Any more? No?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not for now. I'm not inspired by any more right now, so I think I'm good.
What we do in fight week? What's the ring walk? What's the fight colour kit? I know you're big on that. You like to have a whole theme, and what we doing.
Yeah, my fight color this week or for that fight week is going to be like a steel blue. I
Uh-huh.
kind of fit perfectly. I picked that before I realized I was fighting at Fountain Blue, so that'll definitely fit the vibe. And yeah, you know me. I go hard with my color, so similar to this, I guess.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, look forward to seeing the fight. Hopefully, we will be there in person to cover it. And yeah, wish you all the best. Good luck.
Thank you. You know what color to wear. You wear it under
I'm,
your hood.
I'm
Keep it
neutral. I'm
keep it up.
neutral.
Yeah. Okay.
See you soon. Appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Bye.